A passerby's blurry cell phone video just nuked the internet. In the clip, Hudson, a B-list actor famous for being universally hated, snatches a massive stick of cotton candy right out of a little boy's hands. Right in front of the kid's face, he takes a huge bite. The boy unleashes a deafening, heartbroken shriek. Cole doesn't even blink. The entire internet is screaming for me to be cancelled and permanently blacklisted. Then a gossip blog digs up the kid's identity. He is the only son of Sloan Sinclair, the ruthless billionaire CEO of the Sinclair Group. The public consensus is unanimous. I am completely, utterly dead. But there is one tiny detail nobody knows. That screaming kid calls me dad. I bought that cotton candy with my own $15. The kid just had 2 cavities filled, and the dentist banned him from sugar. Was I really in the wrong here? 1. My name is Hudson. I am a B-list actor with a bizarrely toxic reputation. I trend on social media every other week, and it is almost never for a good reason. The last time I trended, I sneezed at an award show and accidentally sprayed the back of an A-list actress's head. The time before that, my belt snapped right in the middle of a movie premiere. My manager, Marty, says my astrological chart is permanently cursed. He strongly advised me to start wearing a paper bag over my head in public. I told him to wear a paper bag. But I never in a million years expected this latest trending topic to be more explosive than the last 2 combined. Here is what actually happened. Saturday afternoon, Sloan had a board meeting. I picked up our son Finn from pre-K. On the walk home, he demanded cotton candy. I said absolutely not. You just got 2 cavities filled last week, and the dentist said no sweets for a month. Finn refused to accept that reality. When a 4-year-old boy decides to rebel, his destructive power rivals a tactical nuke. First, his lower lip quivered. Then, his big eyes welled up with tears. Finally, his mouth stretched wide open. The dramatic wail took exactly 0.3 seconds to detonate. Dayawad. I want to eat the cotton kawandi. The acoustic blast radius was easily 50 yards. An old guy selling pretzels on the corner turned around and glared at me. His eyes clearly spelled out the word monster. I crouched down and tried to reason with the tiny terrorist. Finn, do your teeth hurt? No. Who was crying in the dentist's chair last time? Was it you? He stopped talking. Instead, he narrowed his eyes and glared at me. He has his mother's eyes. It was the exact same icy glare his mother uses to win boardroom negotiations. But I am Hudson. That trick doesn't work on me. I have been a father for 4 years. I am completely immune to that look. No means no. I grabbed his little hand and dragged him forward. We passed right by the cotton candy cart. Finn planted his sneakers into the concrete like tree roots. Dad. Walk. Dad. Walk. Then this little brat executed a flawless heist. While I was distracted, he reached into my coat pocket, pulled out my wallet, slipped out a $20 bill, and handed it directly to the vendor. Mister, I want the biggest one. 4 years old. My own flesh and blood. 4 years old. And he already knows how to buy things. With my money. Before I could stop the transaction, the vendor was already spinning the sugar. I watched that neon pink cloud of sugar get bigger and bigger, and my blood pressure spiked right along with it. When the vendor handed it to Finn, the thing was bigger than his entire head. He hugged the massive pink cloud and flashed me a bright, triumphant, incredibly punchable smile. I took a slow, deep breath. Then I snatched the cotton candy right out of his hands and took a massive, savage bite out of the top. You said I couldn't eat it. Finn's smile shattered instantly. I said you couldn't eat it. I chewed the sticky pink sugar aggressively. I never said I couldn't eat it. You. He froze in pure shock for 2 seconds. Then he started bawling his eyes out. The sound was tragic, devastating, and pierced right through the eardrums. I swear on my life, every single pedestrian within a 3-block radius stopped to stare at me. Picture this. Me, Hudson, 6'1", wearing a black mask and sunglasses, ripping a giant cotton candy away from a sobbing toddler and eating it myself. Visually, it was not a great look. But I had no idea someone was recording it. And I definitely had no idea that 2 hours later, that blurry footage would hit the #1 spot on the trending page. The headline read, "Shocking. Toxic actor Hudson steals cotton candy from innocent child on the street. Toddler devastated." The thumbnail was a freeze frame of me taking that aggressive bite. The angle was terrible. I looked like a comic book villain. You couldn't tell it was a father disciplining his stubborn kid. It just looked like a grown man bullying a helpless child. My phone vibrated. It was Marty. I answered it. Marty. Cole, you listen to me right now. Marty's voice was physically shaking. Did you or did you not rob a child of their cotton candy on a public sidewalk? It wasn't a robbery, it was my #1 trending topic. Marty's voice shrieked, jumping an entire octave. You are #1. 200 million views. Your broken belt only got 80 million. You doubled it. Are you happy now? Say something. Are you done yelling? No. The comment section is a war zone. Verified influencers are quoting it. Child advocacy groups are releasing statements. You are going to be on CNN tomorrow morning. I looked down at Finn. He had already stopped crying. He was squatting by the curb watching a line of ants, his cheeks coated in pink sugar dust. He had secretly licked the cotton candy while I wasn't looking. This kid's acting skills are way better than mine. Marty, calm down. How the hell am I supposed to calm down? Get your ass back to the agency right now. We need a crisis plan. What crisis plan? I ate my kid's cotton candy. Is that a federal crime? It is not a crime, but you just pissed off the entire internet. You can't even tell it is your kid in the video. Everyone just sees a grown man terrorizing a toddler. So I'll just explain it. Problem solved. Marty went dead silent for 3 seconds. Explain? How exactly are you going to explain? You are going to tell the world that is your son? You are married? Who the hell are you married to? I went silent too. Right. I am married. But the world doesn't know. Because my wife is Sloan Sinclair. The Sinclair Group. The $300 billion corporate empire. Sloan Sinclair is the CEO. When we got married, we signed a brutal non-disclosure agreement. Neither of us was allowed to publicly announce the marriage. Her reasoning, it would cause unnecessary fluctuations in the stock market. My reasoning, it would alienate my fanbase. Looking back now, my reasoning was pure delusion. What fanbase? Alright, I get it. I will figure something out. I hung up the phone. Finn looked up at me. Dad, an ant bit me. Karma. You are karma. You stole my cotton candy. I bought it with my money. Mom gave you that money. I opened my mouth to argue. I had no counter-argument. 2. When we got home, I opened my social media app. The hashtag wasn't just #1 anymore. It had a blood-red explosive tag next to it. The comments underneath the video made my skin crawl. What kind of trash human steals food from a little kid? Isn't this the guy whose belt snapped on the red carpet? His morals are as loose as his pants. The poor baby is crying so hard and he is just chewing it. Get this psycho out of Hollywood permanently. Cole Hudson needs to be blacklisted. Can we please tag Child Protective Services to look into this? I scrolled for 5 straight minutes and didn't find a single positive comment. Not one. Even the moderate takes like, maybe there is context we are missing, were downvoted straight to hell. Marty texted me a draft for an official PR statement. Cole Hudson studio official statement. The circulating video is a severe misunderstanding. Mr. Hudson is a family friend of the child. Due to the child's recent medical restrictions regarding sugar, Mr. Hudson intervened out of concern for the child's health. I read it once and texted back 2 words. Too fake. Marty. Then what do you want to do? I thought about it for a second, then opened my own official account. I have 2 million followers, and at least half of them are dedicated haters. I drafted a new post. The spun sugar was actually pretty sweet. I attached a photo I took of the massive pink cotton candy with a huge bite taken out of it. Send. 3 seconds later, my phone started ringing. It was Marty. Cole, what the hell did you just post? The truth. You. I heard a heavy, wheezing sound through the speaker. I genuinely thought Marty was reaching for an oxygen tank. You just poured gasoline on a raging house fire. I didn't lie. It was actually really sweet. You. Marty let out a sound like a dying animal. Just wait. Your comments are about to implode. He was right. Within 5 minutes, the post hit 100,000 comments. Is this guy completely mental? Who is he trying to provoke? Getting cancelled and still acting arrogant. That is a new low. Cole Hudson, I didn't just steal it, I enjoyed it. Come at me, bro. Hold up. Why is this actually kind of hilarious? That last comment got 80,000 likes. Then the vibe in the comment section started to shift. People started turning it into a meme. Cole the candy snatcher Hudson. This man robbed a toddler, refused to apologize, and posted a review of the stolen goods. Honestly, respect the villain arc. We are the clowns here. He literally does not care. Help, why do I think he is kind of cool for this? The comments went from pure, unfiltered hatred to a solid 70-30 split. 30% were still cursing my name, but 70% were just there for the chaos. Marty called back. He sounded slightly calmer. Did you do that on purpose? Do what? That post. Was that calculated? I tossed Finn's muddy socks into the washing machine, pinning the phone to my ear with my shoulder. Yeah, it wasn't. I honestly just thought the cotton candy tasted good, and wanted to put it on my private story, but my thumb slipped and posted it to my public feed. But I couldn't let Marty know that. It was better if he thought I was an evil PR genius. Alright, Marty sighed heavily. You muddied the waters for now. But this isn't over. Jace Montgomery is making his move. My hand stopped on the washing machine dial. Jace Montgomery. A clout-chasing pop idol signed to my agency. He has a face that looks like it was generated by AI and the acting skills of a wooden plank. But he has millions of rabid teenage fans and a ruthless marketing team. He has hated my guts for a year. The reason is simple. He was supposed to get the lead role in a major streaming series, but the director saw my audition and gave me the part instead. He has been gunning for me ever since. What is he doing? He quote tweeted the video of you and the kid. His caption says, "My heart breaks for this little guy. I hope the people involved can give the public a proper explanation." Now his fan army is trending the hashtag Jace Montgomery spreads positivity. They are stepping on your neck to make him look like a saint. The engagement numbers are insane. I let out a dark laugh. That is a textbook maneuver. Using my cancellation to boost his own public image. Flawless execution. Also, Marty lowered his voice to a whisper. The agency is holding an emergency meeting tomorrow morning. Arthur's direct order is that you issue a public, groveling apology. Apologize for what? You. I ate my own kid's cotton candy. Who am I apologizing to? The American people? Am I supposed to write a formal apology to the sugar? You can't tell them it's your kid. I know. Then you have to apologize. No. Cole. I said no. I hung up. Finn trotted out of his bedroom holding a piece of construction paper. Dad, look. I drew you. I took the paper. It was a stick figure with a massive circle for a head, holding a scribbled pink blob. Underneath it, in messy, jagged letters, were 2 words, Bad Dad. Who taught you how to spell that? Mom. I went silent. Unbelievable. A coordinated strike from my own family. 3. By the next morning, the situation had escalated to a catastrophic level. A major pop culture blog dropped a massive article. The headline read, "Exclusive. Identity of the child robbed by Cole Hudson revealed." I clicked the link, and my soul left my body. Multiple inside sources confirmed the young boy in the viral video is the son of Sloan Sinclair, CEO of the Sinclair Group. The conglomerate controls major assets in real estate, finance, and tech, boasting a valuation of over $300 billion. Insiders report Sloan is fiercely protective of her only child and has never allowed media exposure. Cole Hudson has effectively signed his own death warrant. The comment section immediately turned into a digital funeral service. He is dead. He is actually literally dead. Boys, Cole doesn't just want out of Hollywood. He wants a VIP ticket to the morgue. The Sinclair Group? That Sinclair Group? And he stole her kid's food? Cole Hudson. Other celebs get cancelled. I get erased from existence. Honestly, if Sloan Sinclair makes one phone call, Cole's entire talent agency will be liquidated by lunch. Someone set up a GoFundMe for Cole's casket. I was reading these comments while eating breakfast. Finn was sitting across the kitchen island, furiously stirring his oatmeal like a cement mixer. Dad, why are you smiling at your phone? I'm looking at your mother. Mom is inside the phone? Yeah. The internet is basically worshipping her right now. Right on cue, my phone rang. It was Sloan. I answered it and put it on speaker. I saw the trending page, she said. Her voice was perfectly calm, using the exact same tone she uses to close corporate mergers. Yeah. Fascinating. You think this is fascinating? They said you signed your own death warrant. Technically, you just extracted a cavity. The one your son got filled last week. Can you please not make jokes right now? I'm not joking. She paused. What is your PR team planning to do? The agency wants me to issue a public apology. And you don't plan on apologizing? Obviously. Why the hell would I apologize? All right. Then I will back your play. How are you going to do that? I'll have my legal department issue a press release. What kind of press release? The Sinclair Group is aware of the incident and will reserve the right to pursue full legal action against the individual involved. I choked on my coffee. You call that backing my play? Yes. You are nailing the lid of my coffin shut. I think the comment section is going to be highly entertaining. Sloan. Yes. Do you actually enjoy watching the entire internet cyberbully your husband? The line went dead quiet for 2 seconds. Then she said a little bit. I hung up the phone. Finn looked up at me. Dad, your face is really red. Eat your oatmeal. 2 hours later, the official corporate account for the Sinclair Group dropped a statement. The Sinclair Group is aware of the viral video involving the son of our CEO. Our legal team has been dispatched to investigate the matter and will pursue all available legal action against the offending party. The public can rest assured that the Sinclair Group has the absolute capability and obligation to protect the rights of our family members. The internet exploded. It is happening. The coffin is sealed. Cole Hudson. Wait guys, let me explain. Sinclair Legal. See you in court, buddy. The Sinclair Legal Department has 50 elite corporate lawyers. Mobilizing them to destroy a B-list actor is the wildest overkill I have ever seen. Cole, run for the border. It is your only hope. Guys, his social media accounts are still active. He is currently still breathing. Let's observe. I held my phone and texted Sloan. If you help me one more time, my career is actually over. Sloan texted back an emoji. A smiley face. That cold, corporate, customer service smile that radiates 3 parts polite warmth and 7 parts murderous intent. I suddenly realized a hard truth. The biggest mistake of my life wasn't snatching that cotton candy. It was marrying Sloane Sinclair. 2 p.m. The agency conference room. Marty grabbed my arm outside the glass doors, whispering frantically, "Don't lose your temper in there. Arthur is in a terrible mood." When do I ever lose my temper? You lost your temper 3 days ago. When? When you posted that the cotton candy was sweet. That wasn't losing my temper. That was stating a culinary fact. Marty's left eye twitched violently. I pushed the glass doors open and walked in. There were about 8 people sitting around the long mahogany table. Arthur, the head of the agency, sat at the head of the table. He looked furious. Brenda, the PR director, had deep black circles under her eyes. She clearly hadn't slept a wink. And then there was Jace Montgomery. He was sitting quietly in the corner, wearing a crisp white button-down shirt. He looked pristine, polished, and wore a sickeningly perfect smile. When he saw me, he gave a polite little nod. "Hey, Cole." His tone was steady and smooth. It carried 3 parts fake sympathy and 7 parts pure satisfaction. I ignored him. "Sit down," Arthur barked. "You know the situation. The hashtag hasn't dropped from the top spot. Total views just past 1.5 billion. Do you understand what that means? The last time a hashtag broke a billion, a global pop star got married. You are a B-list actor who stole a piece of candy, and your traffic eclipsed a royal wedding. You are an absolute piece of work, Cole." "Arthur, I talk then you talk." Arthur slammed his hand on the table. "The brand sponsors are already calling. You have 3 active endorsements. 2 want to terminate your contract immediately. 1 is waiting to see what happens. The network just suspended all your variety show appearances for next month. Brenda, walk him through the strategy." Brenda opened a manila folder. "The only viable option is a highly publicized, groveling apology. It needs to look sincere. I drafted a statement. Mr. Hudson feels deep remorse for his actions. He realizes his behavior was completely inappropriate and has formally apologized to the child and their family." "No," I said. The conference room went dead silent. "Cole." Arthur stared daggers at me. "Do you have any idea that the Sinclair Group just issued a corporate threat? Their elite legal team is coming for your throat. If you don't apologize right now, you are going to get sued into oblivion." "I am not apologizing." I ate a piece of cotton candy. It was a $15 stick of sugar. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't curse anyone out. I didn't break a single law. Who exactly am I apologizing to? The candy? Dear cotton candy, I am deeply sorry for digesting you." Someone at the far end of the table stifled a laugh. Arthur's face turned a dangerous shade of purple. That was when Jace decided to chime in. "Cole, don't take this the wrong way." I turned to look at him. He cleared his throat, his face a mask of sickening sincerity. "Cole, at the end of the day, this isn't about right or wrong. It is about public sentiment. The public saw a grown man snatch something from a helpless child. It makes people uncomfortable. That is just human nature. If you just bow your head and apologize, you calm the storm. It benefits everyone. Why burn your career to the ground over pride?" Beautifully said. Every single word sounded entirely reasonable. Yet every single sentence was meticulously designed to force me off a cliff. "You weren't using this gentle tone when you quote-tweeted the video to step on my throat, were you, Jace?" I stared right into his perfect eyes. "Yeah. When you quoted that video yesterday, did you type that caption yourself, or did you make your assistant do it?" His perfect smile glitched for a fraction of a second. "Cole, I only posted that out of concern. You are concerned about me? Last month on set, I got heatstroke and laid on a cot for 3 hours. You walked past me 3 times and didn't even offer me a bottle of water." The conference room plunged into a suffocating silence. Jace's smile completely dissolved. The corner of his mouth twitched in anger. Arthur slammed his fist on the table. "Enough. Both of you shut up. Cole, I am asking you one last time. Are you going to apologize? No. Then give me one good reason why." I stood up. I looked around the room at every single face staring back at me. I thought about it for a moment, then delivered one simple sentence. "Because I bought that cotton candy with my own $15. Then I turned around and walked out. I could hear Marty's frantic footsteps chasing after me, followed closely by the sound of Arthur violently shattering his coffee mug against the wall. The heavy glass doors of the agency slammed shut behind me, the rattle of the metal frame echoing down the carpeted hallway. "Cole. Cole, wait." Marty's voice was a wheezing, desperate gasp. I didn't stop. My boots clicked sharply against the polished concrete floor of the lobby as I headed straight for the exit. Marty finally caught up to me near the revolving doors, his face the color of overcooked cauliflower. He was panting, his hand gripping my leather jacket with the strength of a drowning man. "Are you insane?" he hissed, his eyes darting toward the receptionist who was pretending to be deeply interested in a spreadsheet. You just walked out on. Arthur. You basically told the board of directors to shove their crisis plan up their asses. And Jace is going to destroy you on live television tonight. He's booked on The Late Show. Marty, I said, gently peeling his fingers off my sleeve. Calm your chart. The stars aren't aligned for my destruction today. I checked. You don't even know how to read an astrological chart. Exactly. Which means I can't be wrong. I pushed through the revolving doors and stepped out into the crisp afternoon air. The city was loud, a chaotic symphony of yellow cabs, distant jackhammers, and the hum of thousands of people who currently believed I was the worst thing to happen to children since liquid medicine. I walked 3 blocks to where my beat-up vintage Mustang was parked. It was a loud, fuel-guzzling beast that Sloan constantly begged me to trade in for a sensible electric SUV. I loved it precisely because it didn't have a quiet mode. When I climbed inside, the smell of leather and stale French fries greeted me. I threw my sunglasses onto the passenger seat and started the engine. It roared to life with a satisfying, deep rumble that drowned out the buzzing of my phone in my pocket. It buzzed 5 times before I finally pulled out into the traffic. When I stopped at a red light near Central Park, I finally pulled the phone out. It wasn't Marty. It was a text from an unlisted number, but the avatar was a high-resolution corporate logo of the Sinclair Group. Your wife is currently in a meeting with the Department of Justice, but she requested that I deliver this message. The stock price for Sinclair Group just went up 0.4% because of the legal threat. You are officially a corporate asset. Please do not apologize before Thursday. Secretary Vance. I stared at the screen. A corporate asset. My wife was using my public execution to manipulate the stock market, and her assistant was sending me the receipts. I typed back a quick reply. Tell the CEO that if she doesn't buy me a $300 steak tonight, I'm going to post a video of myself eating a bag of gummy bears and tag the Sinclair Group. The reply was instant. The CEO suggests you stick to the steak. Gummy bears are bad for the teeth. Also, Finn wants to know if you can bring home more of the pink cloud. I let out a dry, helpless laugh and tossed the phone back onto the passenger seat. For years of marriage to Sloan Sinclair had taught me many things, but the most important lesson was simple. Never try to outnegotiate a woman who owns her own skyscraper. By Wednesday morning, Jace Montgomery had officially launched his offensive. I was sitting in our kitchen, watching Finn try to build a tower out of avocado toast, when the television on the wall flashed a graphic of my face next to a bright red banner. The Candy Snatcher. Hollywood's toxic icon controversy escalates. The screen cut to a clip of Jace on a talk show from the night before. He was sitting on a plush leather sofa, wearing a pastel pink sweater that made him look like a human marshmallow. He had his hands clasped over his knee, his eyes swimming with a carefully practiced, puppy dog sincerity. Honestly, when I saw the video, my heart just broke. Jace was saying, his voice dropping into that smooth, melodic register his publicist probably paid 5 figures to train. As artists, we have a platform. We have a responsibility to protect the innocent. I don't know Cole's personal situation, and I don't want to judge. But to see a child treated like that in public? It's just not who we are as an industry. I've actually reached out to the Sinclair Group's charitable foundation to make a personal donation in the boy's name. I just want him to know that there is still sweetness in the world. The studio audience erupted into a collective, synchronized awe. Dad, Finn said, pointing a sticky green finger at the screen. That man is wearing your cotton candy color. He's wearing my color, and he's stealing my crowd, Finn, I said, sipping my black coffee. What do you think? Should we sue him for copyright infringement? He has a weird nose, Finn decided, returning to his toast. Right on cue, my phone rang. It was Marty, but he didn't sound panicked this time. He sounded like a man who had spent the night sleeping in his car, which, knowing Marty, was highly possible. Cole, he whispered, his voice incredibly low. Are you watching? Yeah. The pink sweater is a bold choice. Very spring. Forget the sweater. Arthur is losing his mind. Jace's publicist just dropped a press release. Jace is hosting a children's sweet safety charity drive-in Central Park tomorrow afternoon. He's booked 3 major news outlets to cover it. He's going to hand out organic, sugar-free cotton candy to 100 kids from the local community. I paused, my coffee cup halfway to my mouth. A sweet safety drive? Yes. And here's the kicker. He sent a formal, hand-delivered invitation to the Sinclair Group's main office, inviting Sloan's son as the guest of honor. He's trying to get a photo op with the kid to seal his status as the savior of the city. I leaned back in my chair, a slow, genuine smile spreading across my face. He invited Finn. Yes. Of course Sloan's team is going to ignore it. They'd never let the kid near a public event like that. But Jace's team is going to use the rejection to make it look like Sloan is protecting her son from the trauma of the industry. It's a win-win for him. Cole, you're done. The agency is preparing the paperwork to drop you by Friday. Marty, I said, my voice incredibly calm. Do you trust me? No, Marty said instantly. Your astrological chart is a disaster area. Saturn is currently throwing rocks at your career. Well, tell Saturn to take a seat, I said, looking over at Finn, who now had avocado green smeared across his forehead like war paint. Because we're going to a charity drive tomorrow. The Central Park Great Lawn was packed. Jace's team had spared no expense. There were white tents, a massive stage, decorated with pastel balloons and 3 industrial-sized cotton candy machines, spinning organic, agave-sweetened blue clouds. Journalists from every major entertainment outlet were lined up behind the press barrier, their cameras prepped and ready. Jace stood in the center of the lawn, surrounded by a small crowd of carefully selected, extremely photogenic children. He was wearing another pastel sweater, this one a soft mint green, and was currently holding a massive blue cotton candy, posing for a photographer from Variety. Smile, kids. Look at the camera. Show me those beautiful sugar-free smiles. The photographer shouted. I stood near the edge of the lawn, wearing my standard uniform, a black hoodie, a dark baseball cap pulled low, and a pair of dark sunglasses. Next to me, holding my hand, was Finn. He was wearing a small green raincoat and matching boots. Despite the fact that there wasn't a cloud in the sky, he had a small plastic magnifying glass in his other hand, which he was using to inspect the dirt. Dad, Finn whispered, tugging on my sleeve. The blue cloud looks like soap. It probably tastes like it too, buddy, I whispered back. That's organic. Agave. It's a crime against sugar. My phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a text from Sloan. She was currently sitting in her office on the 80th floor of the Sinclair Tower, which looked directly down over the park. My security detail reports that you are currently within 50 yards of the Marshmallow Man. I have a team of corporate lawyers on standby. If he touches our son, I am authorizing a hostile takeover of his management agency by 3 p.m. I smiled and typed back. Relax, CEO. I'm just here to get my $15 back. I put the phone away and looked toward the stage. Jace had just stepped up to the microphone. The press fell silent, the cameras locking onto his polished, perfect face. Thank you everyone for coming out today, Jace said, his voice carrying clearly over the lawn. As you know, this week has been difficult for our community. We saw an incident that reminded us how fragile our children's happiness can be. I wanted to create a space where we could remind everyone that sweetness is a right, not a privilege. We sent an invitation to young Finn Sinclair and his mother, and while they couldn't join us today due to their understandable privacy concerns, I want to dedicate this event to him. He paused, lowering his head in a moment of dramatic, silent tribute. It was a masterpiece of public relations. The journalists were practically weeping into their microphones. I took a deep breath, grabbed Finn's hand, and walked right through the press barrier. Hey, a security guard shouted, reaching out to block me. This is a private event. Press only. I didn't stop. I pulled off my sunglasses and threw back my hood. The moment my face was exposed, a sharp, collective gasp went through the press line. Is that Cole Hudson? Oh my God, he's here. He's crashing the event. The cameras instantly swung away from Jace, their lenses clicking furiously as they locked onto me. The reporters scrambled forward, their microphones thrust over the barrier like a forest of metal branches. Mr. Hudson, why are you here? Are you here to apologize to Jace? Is that the child from the video? Jace froze on the stage. His perfect, marshmallow sweet expression glitched violently. His eyes widened, his hands clenching into fists at his sides as he watched me walk straight toward the stage, holding the hand of the small boy in the green raincoat. Cole, Jace said, his voice cracking slightly before he quickly recovered his microphone tone. What are you doing here? This is a charity event for children. I know, I said, my voice carrying clearly without a microphone. I stopped at the base of the stage, looking up at him. You said you wanted to bring sweetness back into the world, Jace. And you said you wanted to give the public a proper explanation. This isn't the time or the place, Cole, Jace said, his publicist already running toward the stage with a panicked expression. If you want to make a statement, you should do it through your agency. My agency is currently drafting my termination paperwork, Jace, I said, a dry smile touching my lips. So I think this is the perfect place. I looked down at Finn. Finn, do you want to tell the nice man what happened to your cotton candy on Saturday? Finn stopped inspecting the dirt with his magnifying glass. He looked up at the stage, then at the massive crowd of cameras staring at him. He didn't look scared. He had his mother's blood in his veins. He looked slightly bored. He took a deep breath, his little voice carrying clearly through the quiet lawn. My dad ate it, Finn said. The press line went dead silent. Your dad? A reporter from E! News stammered, her microphone trembling. Did you say your dad? Yeah, Finn said, pointing a finger at me. He's my dad. He's a bad dad because he ate my pink cloud. But the dentist said my teeth have holes, so I can't have sugar. He said if I eat sugar, my teeth will fall out and I'll look like an old pirate. A wave of absolute shock went through the crowd. The cameras clicked so fast they sounded like a swarm of angry locusts. The reporters looked at me, then at Finn, then back to the stage where Jace stood, his mint green sweater looking suddenly very pale. Cole, Jace whispered, his face completely devoid of color. What is this? This is my son, Jace, I said, leaning my arm against the edge of the stage. Finn Shugyon. And the cotton candy you've been crying about for 3 days was bought with my own $15. So, unless you're planning to pay me back for the sugar-free soap you're handing out today, I think we're done. Here. The internet didn't just explode. It shattered into a million tiny digital pieces. By Thursday morning, the blurry cell phone video of me snatching the cotton candy was replaced by a high-definition video of the Central Park confrontation. The hashtag Cole Hudson was no longer toxic. It was joined by a new massive trend, hashtag Dad of the Year. The comment section was a masterpiece of collective whiplash. Wait, so he wasn't bullying a random kid? He was literally saving his son from dental destruction. The kid called him a bad dad because of the dentist. This is the most relatable parenting moment in history. Can we talk about Jace Montgomery's face when the kid said my dad ate it? That was the exact moment his soul left his pastel sweater. Cole Hudson, I didn't just survive the cancellation. I made the entire internet apologize to my son's cavities. Sloane Sinclair is his wife? The Sloane Sinclair? Cole Hudson is the ultimate trophy husband. I was reading the comments while sitting in the back of a sleek, black town car. Sloane was sitting next to me, her tablet resting on her lap as she reviewed the morning's financial reports. She was wearing a sharp, tailored navy suit, her dark hair swept back in a perfect, elegant style. The Sinclair Group's public relations rating just hit an all-time high, she said, her voice cool and professional, though a tiny, satisfied smirk touched the corner of her lips. Our consumer tech division saw a 5% increase in pre-orders this morning. The board of directors is currently discussing whether we should hire you as our official brand ambassador. I don't work for cheap, Sloane, I said, leaning my head back against the leather seat. My standard rate is $15 plus tax. I think we can negotiate that, she murmured, turning her head to look at me. Her dark eyes were soft, the cold corporate CEO completely vanishing when we were alone. She reached out, her hand sliding into mine, her fingers locking with mine. You did well yesterday, Cole. I just wanted to clear my name, I said, and save my kid from looking like a pirate. He still thinks you're a bad dad for eating the pink cloud, she pointed out. He'll thank me when he's 30 and still has his own molars. The car pulled up to the curb outside my talent agency. The glass tower looked exactly the same as it had on Tuesday, but the entrance was blocked by a massive crowd of reporters and photographers waiting for my arrival. As the driver opened the door, my phone buzzed. It was Marty. Cole, are you here? His voice was practically singing through the speaker. Arthur is waiting at the door with a fresh cup of coffee. He bought the expensive beans. And Jace's contract is currently being reviewed for termination due to public deception. The agency is offering you a 3-movie deal. Cole, your astrological chart is shining like a supernova. I looked at Sloane. She offered me a small, encouraging nod. Tell Arthur I don't want his coffee, I said into the phone, stepping out of the car into the bright flashing lights of the cameras. But tell him to have my contract ready. I have a lot of sugar to buy. I pulled my sunglasses down, took my wife's hand, and walked straight through the crowd of flashing lights, leaving the internet to chew on the sweetest victory of my career.